Good morning, everyone. Sorry, my name is Sajjad Mustafa. I work with a company called Coale Tech. We're still new in this industry, in this ecosystem. I've had little interaction with the system in early as 2020 when it was on version 14. But I majorly came and dwell into the system as early as 2014. So during those moments, we've been able to do several implementation with the colleagues. And during that period of implementation, interacted with a lot of myself. I have over 15 years experience in finance, accounting, and taxation. I've also dealt a lot in designing and integrating internal control systems within businesses. I've interacted with a lot of those. And one of the plus that I've really enjoyed using ERP Next is it's a flexibility in terms of customizing your internal control systems. So we need to talk about integrating intelligent reports for organizations and top-level management. Yeah, we understand that the system has enough data. We are able to do the sales invoices, you're able to do your purchase invoices, you're able to do your inventory management, you're able to do your human resource management. But when you're in a position of top level management, what do you require to make your day-to-day reporting? So we had our own problem as a team at Coale Tech, and we asked ourselves, I am the owner of the business. I am at that level of C-suite. What do I need to make my day-to-day easy? Because maybe as I'm the head of finance, every morning I'll need to know how much do I have in my account, how much did I able to sell yesterday, how is my suppliers performing, how is the risk in relation to my purchases, my receivables, my payables. So we interacted with the Frappe Insights for quite some time, and we thought, why would it not be easy with just an installation for you to get all those things at a go? So we developed something on top of Frappe Insights to enable to solve that issue, because majority of those reports are historical. So what if also we give it a touch of predictability from that report? What if I'm able to use machine learning tools to understand how I can predict my cash flow, how I can predict and understand my customers? So the journey of understanding that, we identified the gap on ERP Next capturing the data. We explored Frappe Insights, all its capabilities and the power that it is with it. And then on top of Frappe Insight, we developed the suite on top of it to be able to get all the reports standardized. We also added a layer of AI and machine learning on those reports to be able to understand. So the goal was very simple. The goal was to make the life of the top level management easy and quick for them to make their decisions. So what did we standardize? We took the data without insight, and we noted that the shortfall was that it lacked a consolidated view of a strategic decision. We also noted that for you to have such, you need to have a lot of technical dependency on the development team for them to build for you such a thing. So what did we do? We standardized the dashboards to have 11 standard intelligence report, which we'll be able to see in the coming slides. Yeah. So the solution that we brought on Coale Insight was a pre-built report, a machine learning powered to do the predictive analytics, which we integrated close to 10 machine learning to do the analysis on your behalf. That is in terms of the profit to you to understand your seasonality, the time series to understand how your data outlook in the future. We also did the scenario analysis, that is Monte Carlo and other also. We'll share with you all those aspects. So the dashboard that we integrated within the system was to cover the financials, to cover the sales, to cover the customer analytics, manufacturing analytics, HR analytics, risk analytics in terms of all the angles in the business. And also we added a touch of tax intelligence within the system. The tax intelligence that we introduced on the system ideally is for Kenyan market. Using my experience in finance and having dealt with a lot of tax issues, I also, within the layer, integrated a tax computation within the system for the business owners to understand the output of to understand the projection of how much tax is expected based on the report within the system. So it will give you a projection of quarterly installment taxes. It will also give you an highlight of what withholding taxes are due within the system. The machine learning that we put on that system is profit for sales forecasting, exponential smoothing, ARIMA for demand forecasting, that is in terms of the purchasing. We also did some ABC XYZ analysis for those who are dealing with the inventory. This came about one of our client who's almost 40,000 in SKUs. He wanted to understand in terms of the dead stock level. What are the items within my inventory that are dead stock? What are the items that are missing within one warehouse and needs to be transferred to the other warehouses? So we all integrated that. We also integrated AI agents within the system. The purpose of this AI is not to do the computation, but to assist you in reasoning and understanding the report. So within the layers, we put some agent where you can question and say, like, I'm seeing my cash flow is going this. What do you think? What's your thought? We added it as a layer of your reasoning, not as a layer of working. So with that, we did use OpenRouter. OpenRouter, you can have an API key and integrate it, how to integrate it. And we also added a local AI for those who wants their data to be private, those who wants to have their AI installed within their machine. They don't want their data outside. So we've also integrated for you an opportunity to connect with Ollama and other aspects within the local machine. So these are the list of those intelligent dashboard that we've added on the feature. That is the CEO's dashboard, the financial intelligence, budget variances, strategic finance. There's a difference. Mostly people focus on historical, the day-to-day finance report. But we also took a step to do the strategic finance, which is more of a futuristic. You're trying to understand your future in terms of capital plannings, in terms of your working capital computation. So within a click, you'll be able to see your DCI, your DCO, and make decision in terms of how much working capital you require within your business. What was the outcome? I believe that with this, it will help business owners to have a quick decision making. You'll be able to plan your financial cash flow within the system easily. And it will save a lot of time because there's not much customization that will be needed to put on your system. So what we did learn from that process, We learned that when designing report, you need to start with the executive at the top because they are the decision makers. If you understand what they require, then the essence of having an ERP system become more flexible for them, becomes more interesting for them, because if they're able to wake up tomorrow morning at any single time and see how their business are performing, highlight what the risks are there within the system, then it becomes more interesting for them as well. Yeah? Standardization is liberalization, because profit and loss account is standard, balance sheet is standard, trial balance is standard. Why won't you standardize? Because every single person in the level of maybe finance director or CEO use a standardized metric to understand their business. So it will become more easier for them to standardize that. So I'll show you a video of what we did. I don't know if it's visible. So this is the picture of what we've done. We've done all those intelligence board. The risk, the task, the strategic finance, the manufacturing, the marketing, the HR intelligence, ESG, and the CEO's dashboard. We've used also the tabbed design to make it not more cluttered, so that people can move within one dashboard with several tabs to understand them. For those who are using the CRM, it will be automatically integrated with all those reporting. This is for strategic finance, for you to understand the financial health score of your business. It also has a cash forecasting for the next 3 months based on your historical data. You can see all the scenarios, optimistic, best, and worst scenario. Ideally, most financial leaders mostly look at 13 weeks within a financial statement. So you're able to see within the weeks of 13 weeks to see how your finances are, based on the historical in terms of the account receivables and payable, on how you expect to collect all those payments. We've also added a capital planning for those who are doing capital planning. We've also done a working capital computation for DSO, DO, to understand your position in terms of cash flow analysis, cash conversion cycle. We also did the liquidity ratios to understand the ratios within the business in terms of performance. We've also did scenario analysis, that is sensitivity analysis and Monte Carlo, to understand worst case scenario and best case scenario within a business. We also did a comparative analysis for those who are wanting to compare month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year. And we also did a budget variance analysis for those who are utilizing budget within the system to understand the actual versus variance within the system. This is the tax intelligence, where it will also compute within the based on how your performance within the system. We've only done for Kenya. You see it gives you a projection of the quarterly projection for the tax that you're supposed to pay. So for your cash flow planning, it will be easier for you to see the projection. We also integrated a risk intelligence analytics, where it will give the risk assessment based on the currency fluctuation, the payment delays in terms of the payments, the cash flow shortage, the inventory, and the data security breach and compliance as well. Yeah. The credit risk is more of analyzing the receivables to understand what risk you engage with the customers. The cash flow risk, the operational risk, and the compliance risk in terms of the KRA, and the predictability as well. Yeah? This is the financial intelligence, which is more difficult to understand your historical performance in terms of the receivables, the payables, the ratio trends. Budget analysis, I think we'll have to remove that in the future push that we'll do. Withholding which are due in terms of the VAT and the forex exposure for those who are dealing with the multi-currency. And also procurement intelligence, which will how much you've been spending in terms of purchases per month, your supplier performance, in terms of how they're performing, your purchase analytics, in terms of the pending purchase orders. We've also done a price intelligence to understand you purchase something at 100 shillings, it has changed to 200 shillings, so for your purpose of making decisions in terms of those risks related to pricing. We've also done a forecast planning where you can, based on your historical, you can focus how much you intend to buy in the next 3 months. For the stock, we've done a turnover to understand how much you're turning over your stock. We've done an ABC XYZ to understand in terms of the health score of your stock. We've also done an aging inventory of the same. We've done warehouse analysis to understand the movement and also the procurement aspect of it. On the sales is direct to understand your revenue in terms of the weekly, monthly, and the daily. We've done cash, determining how much you collected, your representative, the sales representative analysis, the breakdown in terms of the item groups, the margin, how much you're making in terms of the margins, and the forecast if you're using seasonality, that is a profit model, to understand the seasonality of how your customers are selling your businesses. In terms of customer analytics, we've done a CLV, tire, customer life value, to understand how your customers are behaving in terms of how they're purchasing from you, how much in terms of cohort. And we've drilled down to understand also in terms of those who are lending out credit to the customers, how risky is the customer in terms if you want to give them credit for decision making. Yeah? So it will give you the drop down of how the customer is performing and their value in terms of if they are platinum, bronze, or gold, yeah, customers, yeah. So I'll go to the next now. This is I'm showing you how utilizing the AI in terms of reasoning, yeah. I've put it a case of thus understanding that scenario, yeah. It will show you the break-even point of your business. You can question. Now you can use the AI to question, understand why is this report. So I've put an agent chat at the end, so you can ask any question. Like you see, I've asked what's the story I'm getting on the two scenarios. On the two scenario, that is Monte Carlo and sensitivity analysis, yeah. And the AI will reason it out and it will give you an understanding of what you've done. It will use the report that is within the system. It won't send your report to do the computation. It will just interpret these reports that are within that system. Let me just... it's good for them to see. So you see it has given us a response. It has given us a response on that specific scenario analysis. It will give you an explanation that these numbers, what are they doing exactly, yeah? I'll go to the next. In terms of, I'll share with you, anyone can reach out, I can share you how to integrate all those things. Understand my time is up. One of partners, Frappe Tech, I think he spoke muchly about localization. And one of the major localization he mentioned about was in terms of payroll. And we at Coale Tech, we've been working on something on payroll. If you can see on that logo, there's a Payroll Africa on version 16. What we've done at Coale Tech is that we've set it up for 11 countries, yeah? 11 countries, that is, with a click, you're able to do the payroll setup for the 11 countries with all the tables and all computation. It has all the reports, standards reports, in terms of the P9s, like for Kenya. The settings are within for each countries. There's cross-country reporting. If you go down, these are for each country with their pay table and computation. So there's cross-country reporting, and then below it you can also have each country's report with their specific templates of reporting. So we've open sourced it up right now, so anyone can have access to it. And thank you very much.